Brought to you by Dehancer. Use the promo code RABBIT to receive 10% off Dehancer products. Dehancer.com.
Sentimental Value is Norway's submission for international feature and was nominated. And it is one of 2 foreign films nominated for Best Picture this year. The entire main cast is nominated in this film. Like Stellan Skarsgård, I think he won the Critics' Choice Award for Supporting Actor. Renate Reinsve is up for Best Actress finally. Like the rest of the world is finally waking up to how great she is of an actress. I think she's easily one of the 5 best actresses of her generation. And then for Supporting Actress, you have Inga Ibsdottir Lilias, who plays Reinsve's sister in the film, and Elle Fanning, the American connection to all this. So this is literally a film about generational trauma, about processing, very complicated feelings and recognizing the humanity in people even when they make mistakes. So Skarsgård basically he plays a famous director. Like I kind of compare him to a Werner Herzog type. Like he does documentaries, he does the occasional narrative fiction. He has all these great ideas, but he can never get funding for them, everything like that. And he had a traumatic childhood in this, house where he watched. He came home from school one day and find his mother, hanging from the ceiling fan. Very heavy stuff. And then he grows up. He begins his career. He gets married to a woman who turns out to also be mentally unstable to a degree. He leaves her because he just doesn't want to deal with her stuff. Leaves her with the 2 kids who he involved in his films, even gave them acting roles in his films. And then when his ex-wife dies, he comes back. These 2 now adult daughters are trying to kind of pick up the pieces and rebuild their lives, figure out what they're going to do with the house. And then here's Dad again. And he's got another film he wants to make. And he wants his daughter Nora, Renate Reinsve, to star in the film. He says quite plainly, he wrote the role for her. Like, she is the only one in his mind who can play this part, including scenes where, they recreate that suicide. It is some very, very heavy stuff. And she refuses, not because she thinks it's in bad taste or anything, but it's because you left my life for 20 years and now you came back and you just expect me to be a part of this. I'm not going to be a puppet for your comeback kind of thing. There's so much deep-seated trauma and anger that needs to be processed. I mean, Nora is a successful stage actress in this film because she's tried to be a performer but also distance herself from her father, from Gustav. But she also has panic attacks before she goes on stage every single show. And one of the opening scenes is that she has to basically be wrestled back into her costume 5 seconds before the curtain lifts, so she can go out there and give a performance that everybody loves. And then you contrast that with her sister Agnes, who has found a way to live a normal life. She's able to bridge the gap. She's been the net in so many arguments between family members, but she has her own husband and son now, and she only gets defensive about the idea of now her son being used in one of these movies. It's like she wants to live a life independent of her father, but still, maintain the lines of communication. There's so much complexity to all this. And then we have Elle Fanning as an American actress named Rachel, who is, up and coming, a popular ingenue. She has a whole team of social media people. So Gustav's like, okay, well, if my daughter won't be in the film, let me get this charming American actress. Maybe that'll at least give me some funding. And he starts forming a rapport with her, filling in the gaps that he missed with his own daughters. And Elle Fanning, again, very nuanced performance because she's so eager to work with a story director on a much more serious project than she normally does. Like think of her like a Kate Hudson type. Did all started out doing rom-coms and very, terrible B movies and stuff like that, but wants to be taken seriously. So like this is the challenge for her. But she's smart enough to also recognize what's going on. You know, she realized that she's an American cipher, much like the idea of having an American actress in a Norwegian film. It's like there's a meta resonance to that, and it gives Elle Fanning a lot of opportunities to really like flex her muscles because she grew up with her sister Dakota, doing kids films and everything, and then she did the Maleficent movies, which were awful. But then last year she did a Complete Unknown with Timothy Chalamet, had a good supporting turn, and people were like, okay, well maybe there's something to her. And now she's really showing like, yeah, you're a genuine skilled actress here, and it's ironic that your opportunity to show that is in a situation where you're basically trying to prove that you're not that while also trying not to be a pawn in someone else's emotional game while still again while still understanding the humanity behind it. Like she doesn't lash out at anybody. She doesn't say, "Oh, you're just using me for this." It's like she's much more frank and says like, maybe I'm not right for this role. I really, you have this dialect coach. I really can't speak, convincingly with a Norwegian accent. It's like I think you have some unresolved issues, and it breaks my heart that you're dealing with this, and I want to help, but this I'm probably not the person to do that. Like there's, and then you go back to Nora's like, how do we get through this? How do we bridge those gaps that rebuild those bridges that have been burned for 30 years? There's so much emotional honesty in this that I know all these actors are capable of, except for Inga Lilias, because I had never seen her before. But even from The Worst Person in the World, as soon as I found out that Renata Reinsve was in this, like, yeah, you honestly could not get a more perfect person for this role. Like, the director Joachim Trier, they work together on Worst Person in the World. Like he knows her as a performer and knows what she's capable of, and he pushes her to her limits every time, and it turns into like the good kind of melodrama, like the magical kind of melodrama, because this is just pure human drama and emotional nakedness that you don't see often in American films. Like European films tackle this kind of stuff often to the point where, if it's a French film, it's almost a cliche. Like this is the rare foreign film that got a wide general release in the US. Like you don't have to go to art houses to see this. It's in your local multiplex. It'll be I want to say it's going to one of the major streamers if it hasn't already. Like this is an accessible film meant for wide audiences, and doesn't matter if you speak English or Norwegian. Like they understand what needs to be done to make this resonate, and they do it at every turn. I was very impressed.
This is the BTRP Media Network.